Engineering school, 6 courses per semester, 12-hour study sessions, shitty group members lowering your GPA. Gotta love it, right? Listen though, engineering is not only a painful degree, but it can be one of the greatest teachers of life depending on how you look at it. Those courses can build your resilience, those study sessions can build your focus, and those shitty group members can build your patience. Not a single great figure in history has ever been built without pressure. So embrace the pressure and learn from engineering school instead of whining about it. Here's the 5 best life lessons that you gotta take away from engineering school. Talent not required. So this is me from just about 4 years ago, graduating high school and about to enter engineering school. Now what if I told you that at the time I had pretty much no idea what engineering even was? Yeah, that's the truth. Because I just joined engineering school. I enrolled because people said, oh, you can make a lot of money in it, and oh, you just gotta be good at math and physics. And honestly, at the time, I wasn't even that crazy good at math and physics. And furthermore, I had no background talent. I had no interest in engineering, but as you're about to see, you don't actually require talent. Now I'll admit, through my first year of engineering school, it was pretty rough. You know, I wasn't really that passionate about it. I wasn't that ecstatic to go to lectures. I honestly skipped most of my lectures during the first 4 months that I was in university. I just attended orientation weekend, that's pretty much it. But then second year came around. I actually started attending lectures, and therefore I started to admire the sort of intricate design work that goes into the past feats of engineering. I started to take notice in intricate mechanisms like gears, and my passion for engineering exponentially shot up. I started to make personal projects in SolidWorks, which showcased all of these designs. And then I kept making these personal projects on my own as if it was a hobby. And to the point of third year, I made so many personal projects, which was actually impressive, to the point where I was able to land 2 internship offers within 2 weeks of searching for an internship, when it takes people months to get their first internship offer. Think about that for a second. My will and will alone, no talent, no background talent from high school or when I was born. No talent helped me get to the point where I was at today. I'm now working in that engineering internship in an industry that I'm literally passionate about, heavy duty machinery. I'm learning about so much things like weld pull. I'm learning about manufacturability. I'm learning about the design process, what it takes to manage an engineering team. I still make time for personal projects before work, early in the morning, and after work, I work on these videos that you watch on YouTube. I edit my videos, I shout at the camera, like right now it's like a Thursday afternoon. I don't know if you can see that on my watch. Just a random Thursday afternoon, and I'm shouting at a camera talking about engineering. I wasn't born with any talent. I pretty much didn't find any interest in engineering until like 2, maybe 3 years ago. Yet I can say confidently that I am on a path to success in an engineering career. If you agree with what I've said throughout this video, then I really think that you're a good fit for the program linked down in the description, where I'm trying to assemble all of the strongest minded engineering students on this planet who want to change the trajectory of mankind. Okay, so go check it out if you're interested. Lesson 2, your inner circle. So it was in my first year of engineering that me and a few friends wanted to hang out on one night. And then I actually had to decline because I had some work to do. I had a bunch of assignments to finish. And then one of my friends, we'll call him Sean, he suggested to me, he's like, oh bro, just copy all of my homework. And I was like, oh no, it's all right, I'm fine. And they tried to urge me, I was like, come on, man. And I was like, no, it's all right, I'll do it on my own. And then you know what he said to me? He said, bro, you're too honest. Do you really think that Bill Gates got to where he's at because he was ethical? Do you think that he made no unethical decisions along the way? And then I looked at him, I was like, the fuck? Do you have no values, dude? I didn't say that out loud, but I was thinking it. I had values as a person, to work honestly, with integrity. And here was one of my closest friends telling me to stray away from that. I wasn't gonna allow that to happen. So over the years, our friendship honestly fizzled out, and I made the right decision. If anyone in my life is gonna stray me away from my values as a person, then I don't want them in my life. Now you might say that's a bit non-engineering related, but look around you. You see so many people who cheat throughout engineering school. For what? Just a passing grade. But what they're doing at the same time is lowering their values to being ethical, to acting with integrity. Well, I'm going to talk about more on it later, but that's something that I just want you to keep in mind. You're the average of the 5 people that you spend most time with. Now let me ask you a question. Do you want to be like those people that you study with? Are any of them cheating? Are any of them encouraging you to cheat in engineering school? If that's against your values, cut them off. Lesson 3, failure. So you know how on our assignments sometimes we have like a numerical answer at the bottom of the page for us to compare with to the answer that we get when we try to solve for the problem? Yeah, when you do that assignment and you see that you got the wrong answer, do you cause a fit and be like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to succeed in engineering? Do you do that? Or do you go back and look at what you did correctly and what you did wrong? You probably go back and see where you messed up, right? You just evaluate with a logical sense. That goes for life as well. When you fail, honestly, sometimes miserably, you don't have to cause a fit. You don't have to get so emotional and be like, oh, I'm gonna end it all. No, you go back, you evaluate what you did good, and you evaluate what you did bad so that you don't make that mistake again. Now, in terms of the engineering industry, I know firsthand that when you get a bunch of critiques on how you failed on this design for the project and how it's not meeting all of the specifications, you don't have time to just cry about it. No, you're literally on your shift at work. There is deadlines that need to be met, okay? You need to get back onto the work once you see that you've failed. You gotta get back onto the work immediately. Because they're not looking for someone who's just gonna cry every time that they make mistakes, because mistakes is inevitable in the engineering field when you're working as an engineer, okay? So don't let failures break you, but let it build your character, because you're gonna need to handle those failures in a healthy way once you're in your career. Lesson 4, essentialism. Now, as an engineering student, you know that you have limited time. You have all of these assignments, all of these lectures, all of these labs to attend to. You got so much going on. Now, how you use that free time is going to determine how you succeed in engineering school, right? If you use that free time for partying and getting hungover and fucking sleeping in when you got enough rest, do you think that's going to help you towards your engineering career? Probably not, right? So you should probably use your time towards more essential things. And that might be less things in your life. You might have to cut off partying every Saturday night. You might have to cut off having coffee with this one friend that's probably not even going to attend your funeral or your wedding. Maybe you got to cut off time for playing video games. Oh, boo-hoo, right? Maybe you got to cut off time for this hobby that's not really serving you in engineering. Essentialism is the disciplined pursuit of less. Saying no more than yes. If somebody invites you to a party, say no. If somebody wants to play video games with you, say no. Because all of those things, they're not helping you towards your career in engineering. And you're paying what? Tens of thousands of dollars per semester in engineering school. So you better take it seriously. Be essential with your time. Lesson 5, integrity. Now we all know, we're all familiar, as I said before, that so many engineering students just cheat throughout university. And these are the people that I call pretengineers. Pretengineers are people that have zero passion towards engineering, are absolutely lazy when it comes to doing their work, and therefore they cheat using Chegg and like ChatGPT. Now, of course, ChatGPT, it's a useful tool. I know that, okay? But when you abuse it to the point where you're not creatively building solutions to problems, that's where it becomes a problem. Because engineers, by profession, tinker with science itself, and then they apply it to their designs. If they have no idea what they're tinkering with, what do you think happens? Deadly shit happens, let me tell you. The Gambira Bridge, the Liari building, the UPS cargo plane crash. all happened this past fucking year. The Sampung department store, the Bhopal gas tragedy. These incidents killed thousands of lives. Sure, you could argue, maybe it's like the CEO's fault, but engineers also have responsibility. They have responsibility to speak up when they see something that's wrong. And if they have no integrity, if they cheated throughout university, then they're more likely to be unethical in the engineering field. When a deadline is so near that they're possibly going to get fired, they're going to take shortcuts, unethical shortcuts, to make sure it gets done. In the same way as an engineering student would take unethical shortcuts to get an assignment done. It's not worth it. It's not worth taking these unethical shortcuts while you're in university, because you're literally wiring your brain to think unethically. And thereby, you're going to be an unethical pretengineer once you graduate. Not an engineer, a pretengineer. And I don't want that for you. If you're passionate about engineering, I know you are, because you've made it to this point in the video. I don't want you to have that blood on your hands. And I don't think you want to have that blood on your hands either when you're in court and trying to plead your case about why you decided to design unethically for this specific engineering project. So act ethically. That's the 5 lessons that I got to tell you. If you've agreed with what I've said once again, then join the program link down below. There's people who are like-minded to you inside, waiting to be in your inner circle. Trust me, it's worth it. There's also programs in there which will help you build your experience and thereby build your pathway towards your engineering career. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.